up. Just wave. Good girl. Oh, that's a nice looking udder flower. You're getting fuller, definitely. When her udder fills up, her hind teats point inwards and her legs don't stay together quite as close. Chocolate keeps following her and he opens his mouth and kind of breathes in, so she must be like having a scent. You be careful of that hot wire, Bethy. Stay back. So we're all going for a nature walk. Today's nature walk, we have these great oak trees, and this is a red oak tree. Over this way we have white oak trees. Husband came home a little bit early and he's getting rid of my hay pile for me. So I've done my work for that today. The clouds, they were chemtrails everywhere yesterday. First they said 8 p.m. rain, now they're saying 10 p.m. rain. So I'm just trying to get done what I can because that's all the sun we've got. I decided I wasn't going to paint and I'm nature walking. One of the things that I always do is take pictures of insects and things while we're out on our nature walks, and this is a heck of an insect find. This is a paper wasp nest, and it is probably 30 feet, 40 feet up in a cottonwood tree. And I can see them flying in and out. Not heavily. It's quite, it's a little chilly today, so I don't know. My beehives didn't have a lot of activity going in and out of them right now. But this cottonwood tree sits just underneath this massive, there's these 3 trunks are probably, if 2 adults were to stand side by side, that's about how wide they would be. So maybe, I don't know, 4 feet across. Just massive walnut trees.
On the deck.
Oh, if you get sprayed by a skunk. Jack has a hatchet and he's trying to get this, what's left of this dead tree, chopped down. Hey, watch yourself. That's not safe. And Bethany got tired of picking up acorns, but we came out here specifically for this old oak tree.
Yep.
To get acorns from it.
It's over 100 years old.
And Murdoch has got a lot.
Yep.
So the boys came out here with their dad last night and got a bunch more.
Look how many I've got.
I don't know if I can see. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's real good. Oh, little baby's having his milk. So I'm out here checking on the cows, mainly to check on Flower. When Dolly and Daisy had their calves, we had been watching their udders and kind of see some teat development. And in a herd, a lot of times, a cow who's going to calve will go off on their own. And this is the second time I've seen Flower off on her own today. And it seems like the bad weather. Yeah, come on, Flower. Bethy likes to come along too and see about the cows. So they're all standing here expecting some hay. And she'll come up for food. But she's moving slow, she's lagging. And when her udder gets full, her back teats kind of bow together. And I noticed that on her more so yesterday than a couple of days ago. And now her udder is probably 2/3 bigger than it was. And it's starting to stick out her back end a bit. Oh, thanks for that. There's my cow going pee, everybody. She went potty. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Silly cow. So that's Clover. And Clover was the last calf that was born, and there's Diesel. Right back there. Those two stick together. They're good buddies, and they stick with Flower a lot, and she stays with them. So if you can see, she's looking like a proper cow with her udder. And of course these guys all get in the way, but see, she'll go right up there, and she's always right with Chocolate at feeding time. And she'll push the others out of the way when she's hungry. Yeah. It's not quite time to feed yet, guys. It's so bad weather. We're having a whole weekend of rain. So we'll check back with her. We'll keep checking on her tonight and tomorrow and kind of see what's going on. That's right, Flower. Tell her to come to you. Well, baby watch is over. My husband came and got me this morning. I knew the coffee pot was sitting full, that something was going on, so I grabbed my sweater. We met each other at the door. Flower had her baby. Looks like we've got a little girl baby, little girl calf, and she is up and moving around, and she's not even dry yet. So it's 9 a.m. We've been watching her for about 5 days. She made it through all that wetness. A day of cool dry yesterday, and now it's supposed to be dry and warm for days, so it's just excellent timing. So the little baby can get warmed up and not cold or overheated, and they're just going off together. We fed the herd up there by those orange wagons where we normally do. This is Chocolate. He's the proud papa. So the rest of the herd came down here to see the baby, and we fed her separately. So now she's taking her off way over there so that she doesn't get bumped and pushed around like she was. She's an excellent mom. This is her third calving. So she has had this baby, Oreo, and Daisy. So that I remember, because sometimes it's hard for me to remember.
Right here for the grass.
So it's afternoon, and I came out to check on the cows and to give them some lunch. I wanted to make sure that Flower has all the nutrition she needs. When I fed her this morning, the steers were coming over. So speaking of nutrition, she's actually eating the afterbirth right now. We had been watching her, and she had kind of a stringy thing coming out of her, and she hadn't expelled the afterbirth yet. And I could see when I was feeding the other cattle way uphill that it's the most disgusting thing ever. But they eat it for nutrients and to keep predators away. So if you've ever heard about like human people saving the placenta and eating it, it cooks up like liver apparently. I'm not interested in doing anything like that. But cows in nature, it's just what they do, and other wild animals also. She has licked the baby totally clean and dry. This is just moments later after I hit the stop button. Baby is at it, getting her milk. Flower's our cow that we've had as a milking cow in the past. And if I want to start milking her, you want to leave the baby with the mom for at least 3 days so that she gets that colostrum, or some people say colostrum. And baby's doing really good. She's fine in her legs. Flower's being a super good mom. I probably won't start milking her for a while because we've got our own baby to take care of, and I don't want to put more responsibility on the boys. I don't want baby to be neglected in any way, so we've been doing store-bought milk while all of our cows were going here. She's doing real good. I'm real proud of her. She's a great mom. Oh, she's pushing out some more of that afterbirth. As baby drinks milk, it helps her uterus to contract. Just like with humans, it helps you to kind of get back on your feet better. But she's been up and moving around real good. But the nursing causes those contractions, and she'll get the rest of that out. Well, we have decided between Jack and I the little baby's name. What are we going to call her, buddy?
Duchess.
Duchess is a good name for her. Yes. The fence is off. It's okay. So Flower felt like coming up. She stayed down there most of the day, and she didn't want to go uphill all the way to the water. This is a slower slope. So she went down there and was drinking rainwater from that low spot from the weekend. And it is Tuesday, so she's had her baby. Hi. And of course she's in with all the rest of the herd, so I don't know how big she is, but she's real nice looking. They always look so tiny when they're first born, but she has been all over this pasture today, back and forth along the fence row. And I kept feeding Mom downhill. Well, she's got plenty there for her. I was feeding her down in this spot here, but she felt like coming up, and she realized that baby didn't follow her, and baby was still down there and wouldn't cross the water. So she went down and got her and walked her around the mud hole and brought her up here. So I gave her a nice big pile of this hay, and she's doing really well. Oh, what a pretty baby. Yes. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I found out the polled gene is dominant in animals. So Oreo had horns like Flower, but so far Chocolate is polled, which means he was born without horns. And we don't dehorn the cows and the steers. I just let them be natural. We have Clover and Diesel, and they both seem to be polled. So I'm going to keep an eye on them. Oh, she is just doing so great. This is softer ground than where she's been earlier, and she's still prancing around pretty good. I'm real glad that she was born now, because she's not in a time of year that the flies are real bothersome, and it's also given her about a month to adjust or two before the cold weather. So she's a little muddy from the rain and everything, but look at that udder. She's just full of milk for baby. And the rest of her like placenta and birth sac came out, and she's been managing real well. So we have this beautiful sunset going on, and it's like 7:30. I think it's 7:15. So we'll come back out and check on baby in the morning and make sure she's doing okay. I've got a calf coat ready if she needs it, but it's not supposed to get real chilly tonight. I don't want her to overheat. So we'll keep an eye on her and let you know how she's doing.